And the editors in today's world, editors are authorities, and there's a lot of like a makeup artist is an editor essentially in beauty because they're using it every day and filling up their kits with the best stuff. Anyway, so that was a very simple idea. It's like, well, now that we have digital, we could sort of solve this problem.
Like, what if we could connect
put those two things together?
The power of those editors with a place where people can actually tear out the
purchase
page
their
and purchase
recommendations
it in the same place.
Yeah, which we can because it's called the internet. It's amazing.
It's really cool.
It's very cool.
I think everyone's been trying to solve the content and commerce conundrum.
Yes.
How do you guys think about that in terms of content versus product-driven, like messaging, I guess? I mean, the content is always talking about product, but, you know, I think some people feel like content can distract from shopping, and it sounds like you may have figured out a place where those things can live in harmony.
Certainly trying to figure it out. Yes, I think we've made some victories, tiny victories in the space. But yeah, it's really challenging because I think it's very much about authenticity. And so I think we are uniquely positioned because we don't allow anyone to purchase anything on our site that we wouldn't write about. And we don't write about anything that's not available to be purchased unless it's outside of the beauty category. And so I think we very much approach our e-commerce and really omni-channel retail business as one of our channels that allows our readers to be able to purchase our recommendations. Mm-hmm. And so it's very editorial. And we also edit the collection. So each product goes through this pretty rigorous line of approval before it's deemed the best in class.
It seems like so much work. Is it so much work?
It's so much work.
And we
have to tell people about how much work it is because once, I'm in the office, so once you see that there's thousands and thousands and thousands of products in each category, and that then they have to dig through them and find just the top 10 and then finding the top 5, and then why are those the top 5 is a process, but it's a problem to solve because it hasn't been solved before. Mm-hmm. And so we're definitely interested in giving her what she wants, and she wants to feel she wants to feel good about the purchases that she's making.
Well, it seems like you have, your reader has access and your customer has access to these personalities who are, whether they're makeup artists or models or editors, who are seeing the best of the best every day out in the world, and then can come and sit on, I don't know if you call it a board, but with Violet Grey, influence what it is that's presented ultimately to the reader. And so, that's something that's harder to trust if they're pushing something on their social media that could be paid, they could be endorsed, but it seems like a real...
I think I wrote this business plan when I was in New York. I didn't know that I was going to do it. I knew that I was going to start a company. And I knew that I was going to do it in my early 30s. But I knew that my dream was to build a great company, which is, to me, a great group of people. And I knew that I wanted to work with talent that was, far more talented than I was and far smarter than I was in all these areas. And I wanted to surround myself with sort of the best talent that I could find. So I knew that that was not going to be easy without a really strong vision that people got really excited about. I mean, you need money, you need vision, you need people. And so I think I didn't really get really excited about Violet Grey until I moved to Los Angeles and was sort of exposed to Hollywood through my husband, who's like this, short, Jewish, powerful guy running the town. And I got this sort of front row +1 seat to Hollywood and realized very quickly that this is the most influential beauty culture in the world. Mm-hmm. And so launching a company born out of that culture with this understanding that this culture is relevant around the world and that people are really interested in it. But also there's so much information amassed here because it is the sort of capital of image making. And, these women that are on the red carpets and on the cover of magazines and in movies and on TV. Like they're representing sometimes multi-billion-dollar franchises. So as a result, they have a makeup artist and a hairdresser and a skincare professional and a shrink and a nail artist. And like they have a whole crew. And I mean, obviously this isn't normal, but the shape of your eyebrow really matters. Your skin really matters. The image that you're projecting could mean your next endorsement deal or your next movie or if you're smart about it all, right? And it's very much a part of the business. So when I moved here and realized, this is like such an incredible community and industry that's relevant around the world, but there's also this contingency of authority in this sort of new breed of celebrity, that are these makeup artists and hairdressers and dermatologists that are here working on the most famous faces in the world. And they, to me, it was like these are like the new chefs. What happened to chefs in Hollywood.
It's true.
Except they're much, much more glamorous because they're like hanging out with movie stars all day.
Yeah. Probably equal level of addiction issues, though. I don't know.
And they're artists, so they tend to be interesting and have personalities.
Yeah.
And I've always loved them, meeting them on photo shoots and stuff. But I realized that, these are the authorities in beauty. So I need to figure out how to like round all of them up so they can help me curate only the best because I need to like solve this problem.
Absolutely.
For women.
What is your definition of beauty?
I think about feelings like emotional connectivity. So I think like when I think about the most beautiful things I've ever seen, it's like oftentimes it's women. I think women are some of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And then I think it's also like the ocean and flowers and art. So yeah, I mean, I think it's about the emotional connectivity to what I'm literally seeing through my eyes.
Do you think that there's like an implied pressure to be or look a certain way, or do you feel like beauty and makeup has given people the opportunity to explore that for themselves? So there's you should do your makeup this way so that you can look like Kim Kardashian, but then there's also the flip side of makeup gives people the opportunity to explore who they are.
Yeah. I mean, I think it also comes back to Hollywood and like Hollywood, like to me, when I was living in New York, was sort of a bad word and not that cool and kind of oversaturated. And I wasn't really interested in it. But when I moved here and really started to study it, I mean, Hollywood or cinema or moving pictures, whether it's French cinema or Italian cinema or Bollywood or whatever, are really responsible for most of the images that have made an impact on my life. And I've certainly been ruled by images and iconography, right? So I think that art is the most influential art in the world, which is this, moving pictures. So I think when I think about beauty, I think what I love about it and working in it so much is that it does have this utilitarian aspect where it's like, I need my face wash, or I need to wash my hair, and I need to clean my nails and all that. So it's like commodities and that I need all the time. And it's a recurring purchase. So that's very good for business. And then there's this whole fashion element of expressing yourself and so creative and so fun. And, if you're feeling tired, you can use makeup to not feel tired. If you're feeling like you want to be sexier, you can use makeup and hair and like all that stuff just helps you to get there. It's theater, right? And again, back to Hollywood, it's about getting into character, and that can make life a lot more fun, right? I think being comfortable in your skin is something that is priceless and pretty hard to achieve because has so connected to self-esteem and mental stability and all of that. And I think, as a woman, I think a fairly attractive woman, I rarely feel comfortable in my skin. So I do find that makeup and hair and fashion and exercise and sleep and meditation all help me to feel better in my skin.
Yeah.
Which is just makes me feel more healthy. I
Absolutely.
think.